Yo, it's ODB. This is OLP, and this is issue 136 of Mini Truckin Magazine, April 2003. You got to remember, 2003, they came out swinging. January with The Kid, Charles Armstrong's Time Machine. Rest in peace, Ernie Macias in February. And then we just went through March, Josh Freeman's Toyota. So the next up is Jimmy Boykin's Hardbody with graphics, of course. And you see the lovely Holli Winard, I believe is how you pronounce her name. This cover was shot by the GREAT Joe Greeves. He's still out there doing things. He shot a total of how many covers out of 269? 5. So he gets credit for 5 covers. This is one of them. And the key thing about this cover is it's the first Acrophobia truck on the cover of the magazine. So congrats to Jimmy Boykin for that. What we see here is engine-driven compressor tech article. We see the model, tech, 15-minute tonneaus. And again, I think the key thing is you got an awesome Nissan Hardbody. You got a hot model. That's a win-win. Again, 2003, they really come out swinging with these issues. You can see here a Mazda, a Toyota, of course the Hardbody. Plenty of awesome trucks in this issue. If you like what we're doing here, leave a comment, even if it's just an emoji thumbs up. We certainly appreciate that. We're going to go through all 269, and we just recently went through the halfway mark. Brings spring already, so obviously talking about spring because it's the springtime. And remember, they were writing these several months, 2, 3, maybe even a little bit more in advance. You got to remember things are a lot different now, and how information shared and Dropbox and all that stuff. It's a little bit easier to do things. Back in this day is not as easy. So they were, planning well ahead as they had to. Ridin Around. So this little bit further up in this issue by Mike Finnegan. Got a full page color ad there, or Ridin Around, I should say. Here is Jeremy Railey. Good mini trucker name. Railey. Railing. You can see Bewley Body Works right here. Awesome green color. I think KMC units, I think, are the wheels. Negative camber. One mean and green machine. So Lance shot this one. This was in the era too when the logo there was super popular. We'd see that a lot. And pretty cool truck. We're just going to keep going through these issues, and certainly picking up some new subscribers. So we appreciate you guys and the ladies for jumping on board here. Command Performance. This was Airlift's engine driven. So I've talked a little bit about engine driven compressors. One of my old friends had one on his Tahoe. These things are awesome. I got a buddy now that has one of the old York compressors on his Lincoln. So the Lincolns have a York for the AC, and then he has a second York on his 68 Lincoln for air. It's pretty much unlimited air, although it is, I would say, a niche market. Even Viair, ironically enough, here's a Viair ad. Even Viair has said, they have the majority of the market share. But, who else is some of the other market share out there? Well, nitrogen, which a lot of people don't run nitrogen. You have engine-driven compressors, and there are some competition, I would say. But Viair is pretty much, they take the lion's share of users out there. So Scrape Fest 2002. And you see some big photos here. This was Brandy Gallo, so Russell Gallo and Brandy. We see their names here. And then there's Red Dawg. I don't know if that's Tim. Is that Tim? But that's Red Dawg, we know. Subculture logo, front. Actually, his were one of my favorite shaved front corners, although I've made it known that maybe wasn't my favorite mod. On some of them, I think it looked good, especially this one on how the billet grill comes across. I thought it was executed very nicely. So if I was to do it, I would do it with the billet grill. But there you go. You can see it there as well. Thing is insane. Awesome mini truck. If there's content or anything you can add, please always, I encourage you guys to comment below. Definitely appreciate it. Of course, in this area, it wouldn't be a show without show coverage, including some Pebble Pusher rides. Of course, their show, for the most part, right? Pebble Pushers, I think, technically. And you can see there's the S10. Get the extra letters, 8 characters in the Carolinas. That's always a kind of a cool thing. Spell out different stuff. Here's Sick Dawg, Robert Harris, 87 Mazda B 2200, Creative Style, rather. You can see the suicide door here. Again, just a timeless mini truck. We've said it over and over again with these body lines. Even with that front setup that those guys would run, with the billet grills and stuff, just awesome. Sick Dawg. And then tweed for days. I'll take it. Tweed. I've got some old tweed. I need to put it to use in my 9.0. Here's Tour de Scrape, 2002 Truckin State-to-State Cruise. So something kind of cool. And you can see here Jeremy Cook on the right, and then Travis Nowak documenting before like vlogging and blogging it was even a thing. You basically, this is what you vlogged with: a camera, the memories to be able to do the write-up. Here is continued command performance. So you see the air traps, which I think are an important key aspect, especially depending on where you live. Down here we have so much humidity. Paper cuts. There's a little bit of throwback there with the Joe Musso Toyota, one of the baddest trucks built, especially to be non-adjustable suspension. All go for show. It feels like I went through this one recently, but I guess I haven't. Jimmy Boykin, Columbus, Georgia, 94 Nissan Hardbody. Auto Works was the shop, and Acrophobia, of course, as I mentioned. Rotary Radness. And tip of the cap, again, Joe Greeves getting the call here. And, of course, the model is not here, but they did list Holli Winard, Winnard, Joe Greeves, and, of course, by the Mini Truckin staff. So you would sometimes see this with features. Just basically the cover would have the model that would help sell, so to speak, the issue. Awesome truck. Of course, you got the Nissan Hardbody with the Frontier front end. I know a few guys did it, including Jimmy Graham. So always an awesome mod there. But it makes me do a double take on these trucks sometimes, because I'm like, wait a minute, if it's such a clean front end conversion like this one is, I may have accidentally said Frontier, but certainly a hard body and nice big wheel on it. Good stuff. Something a little bit different, which I was always for. 2002 Truckin Nats Throwdown. So again, Nats or Nationals was a long used kind of title as like Throwdown and Showdown and things like that. But definitely works in well with a show name. If you like what we're doing here, I know many of you already listen to the podcast. If you do, thank you. If you don't, go on our website or just Google Our Lifestyle Podcast. Spotify, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, you name it. You could pretty much listen to it. Check it out. Crazy taillight deal there. Topless. But check us out, man. Over 330 episodes strong. And we got some cool guests coming up. We're going to be talking some old school BMX. Shout out to Sean from Rad BMX Builds. We've had Sean on before, and he's got a cool channel. Really killing it. Check him out if you haven't already on Facebook. Here's Justin Berryman, Charlotte, NC, North Carolina, and that's Pebble Pushers. So again, super awesome Ranger. We may have seen this one recently in the mag. But Rangers, again, don't get enough love, and definitely like the bed treatment here. You know, the bed liner, and you get the blue sticking through there, everything nice and clean. Boom. Super Sick Mini, shove it. Again, definitely appreciate all the support here. We've continued to grow, and this is just one project that we're working on, going through all these, that I'm working on, going through all these issues. We definitely have a lot more that we're going to be doing here on OLP. Kenny Rosenborough, is that how you say it? 97 Nissan King Cab, super clean. And then you have Jason Wheat, 94 Extra Cab. Good stuff. I do try to make these as efficient as possible. I've kind of, you guys have maybe noticed, I sped these up a little bit, some issues. Bling bling, that's probably one of the first times we saw those terms that were early 2000, mid 2000s. Bling bling. Midnight Fantasies, ironically enough, today I posted a throwback photo from Midnight Fantasies the one year I went, and I'm going through this issue now. It's making me think, did I go this year? The year we went, it rained real bad. I want to say it's maybe 03, 04, but I saw some of these trucks, including, I think that was Elliott's S10, I think. There's the famous Mazda. But very, very cool show. Lake Charles, Louisiana Lake Front Tour. We went one year, and like I said, it rained, but we had a good time. This was a cool F-150. I remember seeing that at Show Fest with the Navigator front grille and the flat paint with the hot rod flames. Super clean. Mazda, always like that one. Here you've got a Nissan with the Hancock wheels and the removable top. Sonoma front end. Why You So High on the plate. Here we have Charlie Cooper, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. This thing was always cool. You know, when I see these Tacomas cruising down the street, I always think like, you know, this is kind of when trucks were still a little bit smaller. You know, the mid-90s, before they got pretty big for the minis. And just a timeless body style. Always liked the front ends on these. I did like as they progressed and the bigger headlights and stuff, but something just kind of mid-90s, old school to me about these body style Tacomas. As I've said, a lot of nice trucks out there that would do full interiors, of course, oftentimes. But by that, I mean, you know, they did the seats, floors, everything, but look, the dash, all painted. You know, so many guys had awesome painted dashes like that, and I always thought it was pretty cool. Some guys would say it was a little tough with the sunlight beaming off of it, but still looks awesome. Shane McPherson, Marietta, Georgia, GMC Sonoma. So 2000 Notorious Addiction. Nice clean truck. And this was also an era when guys were running screens. I call them TV screens, but different screens and mounting them. We'd see everything back in those days from, you know, guys in the factory steering wheel to, you know, where the airbag went to the headrest, even in a regular cab truck. The visors, it got a little crazy, but that kind of quickly went away with the growth of smartphones. It's just like, you know, now I think the big thing is an iPad. Here we can see a little bit of the image there. That also ties into the cover. Awesome model. And yeah, like I said, Acrophobia first cover for them on Mini Truckin, that is. You can see a crew cab, Holden, I think technically, but you know, Nissan, or excuse me, Isuzu Pup, as we know it. Started to put some words in here, early kind of meme type stuff. So you can see a couple things in there. There's a Dodge Dakota on some clean billets. So yeah, they're starting to throw some words in there. But MIC on the back. This is April 2003, issue 136, Mini Truckin Magazine. Now, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm going to go ahead and flash it here. I do sometimes forget to put the pop-up at the very end. I have to go back and add that in for the subscribe. But Many of you are subscribed. If you are, thank you so much. If you're not, please subscribe. And just know, I know, watching these all the way through, sometimes it can be fun, sometimes it can be boring, but it definitely helps our channel when you watch further into the video, whether it's 10 or 15 or 20 minutes. And I'll keep on keeping on over here on my side. Next up, we've got May 2003 Mosberry Delight. So I'll talk more about that one in the next video, y'all. Stay on the rise. Peace. We out here.